Did you make sure sound is okay?
You can take my pencil, but you can't take my podcast.
On?
Is that how it is?
Hey, Mike, talk.
Okay, how do I sound?
Hey, Josh.
Hey, how's it going there?
Steve.
How do I sound?
James.
Hey, what's up? You got bars?
You were late tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's going to go on your record.
No.
I'll get
Permanent record.
He'll cut my pay.
We have a full crowd tonight. I have a pencil with no points.
Yes.
That's funny. We got a podcast with no points.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Richard is
Try the
running
meal.
camera tonight.
Hi, Richard.
Steve Mantia seems really hot to me. What number is Steve, Josh?
What?
I am number 4 today.
I'm just going to turn them all down. I'll
He's
turn
gonna
the
be
master
number
volume
4?
down.
I'm number 4, I think.
Why? Then
Okay,
we're
that's
not
good.
all hot.
All right. I'm going to monitor sound. This is sure 248. Tell me that happened. 248. And we have a train running. Ready, set, go. Richard, give us a countdown.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
This week's video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you.
These are anyway.
And by GL Robotics. With over 61 colors of 3D printing filaments in stock, your gateway to new technology. Check out their website at glroboticsusa.com. Further support is provided by Microengineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975. Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com. And by Intermountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week show in model railroading, show number 248 for September 16th, 2023, and we have a train running tonight, guys. Check it out.
Wow.
All right.
Very cool.
So what's going on this train, Joshua?
I got some auto racks on here. There might be a little graffiti that you might see. Some of these really nice cars, and I know Steve and Mike both love these cars in the end here.
Yes.
Those are Intermountain auto racks,
Those are,
right?
yeah.
Intermountain auto racks and
Who makes that articulated auto rack right there? Is it?
that's an Atlas.
Is that Atlas?
Yeah.
Atlas, yep. And then these, are they high cubes?
Yes.
Is what they're
Yeah.
called. Boy, yeah.
Is that lift out section starting to bow a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
I see
We're
that.
going to have to redo
That is the
layout
worst
of
lift
them.
out I've ever built.
Put it on the list of things
Yeah.
to
Out of
do.
4?
Just check.
Now the CSX box cars, those are tangent,
Yes.
Yes.
86 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are we missing part of our train, or is that how it ends?
Nope, that's how it ends. Yep.
That's an Illinois Central weathered by Kohlberg.
Daniel Cole.
Daniel Kohlberg weathered that one. He was like 14 or 15 years old.
Wow.
And I bought that from him, and I still have it in my collection, and now he's an adult.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Very
So, 248 tonight, guys. I've got a full set of wonderful people with me tonight. Starting over here with Mike Budde sits, I've got Mike Budde.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mike, and you got some amazing stuff to talk about tonight.
Yeah, all 3D printed.
Big stuff? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sitting right next to me is Joshua Barton,
What's up, everybody?
otherwise known as your restaurant
The artist
consultant.
The artist formerly known as Sugarfire.
Very good.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that.
Now he's a consultant, which is great.
Yeah.
Sitting right next to him is Stephen Mantia.
Hello.
Hey,
Glad
Steve.
to be here.
I hear Glenda made the house look like fall.
Of course, every
Always.
August 1st.
All
That's
right.
the way it is.
That is so awesome. Just cherish your marriage. Sitting right next to Steve is James Regier. Hey, James.
Hey, how's it going?
Great, brother. You were late tonight.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I was later than you getting here.
That's true.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about. You got a lot of models on the table, too.
Oh, yeah.
You've been working feverishly with the 3D printer,
Oh, yeah.
and we got some stuff to talk about 3D printing tonight, too.
Yeah.
I can start out by telling you that just a moment ago, as I was looking at the computer, Jeff Schultz emailed me and asked me where was October. October was supposed to be done last week. Actually, it was supposed to be done yesterday at midnight, and it will be done before this podcast goes out. I've got another half an hour to finish up the edits on the opening and a couple other little tidbits here and there. But
be a good
October's done.
show.
It's an hour and 3 minutes long, covering the RPM show here in St. Louis with a lot of interviews, plus Bachman announcements of all the new products that are coming in the next 6 or 8 months of calendar months. There's a lot of great stuff in there, including some Broadway Limited stuff that's a surprise that you have not seen on this show yet. I know, right? There's so many surprises. So going around the table, let's start out with... I want to start out with Mike, because Mike, you got a lot to talk about. We got some stuff from Mini Prints today in the mailbox.
Yes, right.
Bernard Helen is just on top of mail.
Yeah, he's got the Halloween theme going here with all these little things. I don't know. First of all, there's like a row of airport seats, like waiting rooms.
Yeah, waiting room seats for stations.
Yeah, so you could even like maybe have those out on the platform. I don't know, against the
Yeah,
building. But then a bunch of cool Halloween things. A guy coming out of the ground. A guy coming out of a coffin. Somebody, I don't know who these characters are, holding a lantern. Then a cat. And then this one, James and I were marveling over this skeleton.
Very fine on that.
Look at
mean,
that.
The supports are like twice the size of the skeleton's bones.
So
Yeah, that's gonna.
I'll let someone else break that from the supports. Or
I'll give it a try. I'll paint it first and see how it.
Let's talk about that wood chipper.
Yeah,
though.
this is the coolest. Man.
That was announced today, and actually at the Otter Valley show.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of people have wanted a quality model of one of these for years. I think Boley had a setup one time that they were selling with their wood or tree trimming truck, but those are really hard to find now. So this is a really great addition.
And
I mean, just for
duper detailed. I
Yeah.
can't believe all the detail.
yeah, dioramas or
yeah.
I can see people doing Fargo with this. You know,
Oh yeah.
I was thinking more like somebody's cutting down a tree.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're used for that also.
I guess we can
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
What's
Now,
used for.
he also announced this morning that he's getting a windmill.
Oh yeah.
That windmill will soon be listed out. One of the windmills that I designed. So I have one right here. If you here's my version of the print. He's made some slight modifications for his process, but it's the same parts, and if assembled right, you can actually make the blades blow.
Can you make them blow?
Oh yeah. Watch. I'll just. There we go. See.
We've got a lot of hot air, I guess.
I want to
there.
blow on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Can I blow on it?
Oh.
Well,
Everybody's going to blow on it.
I want to
now.
play with the windmill.
Take turns.
The sound bites that are going to be cut out
Yeah.
of this episode.
It
Yeah, right.
actually spins around like it's
it
supposed
turns
to.
around and right.
Oh wow, I love it! So you could set up a little fan on your layout, have a constant breeze, and
Yeah.
have this thing. Actually, how they don't spin that fast though, do they?
Dun, dun,
They're
dun,
more
dun, dun.
gentle.
No, that's the problem. That's the problem that I was
Watch out for
noticing.
that
That
house, yeah.
you know, when you blow on it, scaled down, it's blowing a lot faster in HO scale than it would in real scale.
You've even got
Right.
the shaft.
And so
here
this
in the
has a
middle.
shaft going on. It has a pump. Those are separate parts. But it has a pump. It has a little
This is outstanding.
water chute that goes.
And this is how you designed it.
That's how I designed the print. Yeah.
So you've got to be very meticulous when you pull this out of the machine. First of all, to scrape it off,
Right.
and then you've got to sit down with, I guess, a fine pair of wire cutters and maybe some
A fine pair of-
optimizers.
So for the most part, these parts will snap right off. The one thing is with the fan, you're going to want to be careful cutting that out because they are very thin blades, and
And
so
then if you cut that by accident, then yeah.
so you
Yeah.
want to cut the key supports on the bottom. But once those supports are gone, I've designed it so that it'll more or less be able to snap off the.
Will you
snap
please
off
teach
the-
us how to design?
plate.
Because I want to print some stuff.
Yeah.
I need to learn
Well,
how to do
so
this
there's-
part.
There's two tricks. The one is to actually design the 3D model. The other is to design these supports so that it'll print correctly. But yeah, that's coming from Mini Prints, and it will include the fan, the water chute, the pump, and the pump shaft. And if you assemble it the right way, it can actually move.
Very cool.
And then there are several options for tanks that are then going to be available separately. Bernard Helen has, of course, his livestock tank, which is a small one like you'd see at different farms. I've designed these 8-foot diameter corrugated steel tanks that you'd find in a lot of pastures or in backyard swimming pools.
That would make a great
Those
swimming
different-
pool.
Right.
Those are offered from Mini Prints as well.
Those I think they'll be offered from Mini Prints as well. But yeah, so either from me or from Mini Prints, they'll be the same price. So yeah, that's those were among the things that
Very
he
cool.
announced today at Otter Valley.
That's awesome.
Very neat.
And,
That's cool that you're collaborating with
Yeah.
Bernard.
So that's kind of fun. Well, and one of the advantages to that is he has a distribution network that I do not. Namely, he can ship in the United States for American postage rates,
Right.
and in Canada for Canadian postage rates.
Yeah.
International shipping, like someone was asking me for a steam tractor, in Canada,
Yeah, it's
and that like adds
astronomical.
$50 to
Right.
the whole package, and it's just not feasible. So.
I do want to say this is the very first ever in 248 shows that we have had James Regier standing on the podcast table.
Yeah, and there's two of me.
I think.
no.
I think we should make a chess set or something like that.
There's
We're working on the What's Neat This Week home
Game?
game.
The game?
that's right, the home game, right?
I've heard rumors about
Yes.
that.
But yeah, I'm actually leaning right against one of the steam tractors here,
Very nice.
and with the
You got to talk about these because these.
Hold on. You're rushing.
Well, let's-
I know, but that is so exciting. I
let's
can't see
continue
it.
with what Mike
we
was.
were
I
on
was
my
just on the
segment,
mini prints.
and then yeah.
I was just on the mini prints mode,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
we'll get to my stuff later.
So, Mike, what else?
Okay. So before I was interrupted,
Back to the spider now.
this spider is their last big thing for Halloween. I mean, you could use that at just about any scale, even this large scale,
Yeah,
But
that's really cool.
or even put it on the floor in your house, but somebody would step
Oh.
on it.
Yeah, they just smash it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So at the
But imagine, that reminds me of a prank that my roommate and I pulled in college. How everyone has their Christmas decorations out in like August, at Menards and stuff, and they also have their Halloween displays out. So we had one of their giant spiders paying a visit to the Christmas village. It's just an idea,
Give him a raise.
So, what about those G-scale cars over there, Mike?
well,
Tell us
I
about
never got to
those.
talk about the vans
There's
yet.
a lot to talk
okay,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, these are from Tom Hart. He comes down to the St. Louis RPM each summer, and he's doing a whole bunch of different style American vans. They start with an F. I don't know if I can say it or not, but anyway, he's got
everyone's on strike, so we can say the word Ford.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
They said last night we could.
Okay.
Yeah, I called
Anyway, we got
good.
a passenger version, a work version, one that's all closed, even a cutaway version, and he's got the different grills for anything from 1975 up to I think 1995.
Wow, that's very cool.
Because those, they just change the grills, but that fills a huge gap in the people that are doing 70s era or 80s even. Those are a lot of those vans.
Didn't
that
you
well
guys
over-
find
those are
a
very
bunch
nice
of
Fords.
vans that were already done at Walmart?
Oh God.
Yeah, but
Oh
those
my
were.
God. That was 2013.
Yeah, and those Fords were 1968 to 74, which was the vans right before
that?
these.
That
Was
Yeah.
that 2013 or was that
No, that was
2007?
2007. Yeah.
That was 2007.
When they changed them and
'Cause I had
rounded
just
them
got
and-
the
yeah.
monster truck, And every
Yeah.
night I'd go cruising out around midnight to 2 in the
Yeah,
morning,
looking for those.
hitting all the different Walmarts, and I would grab them by the case.
Yeah.
I would be in the Walmart with 4 cases of Ford vans.
Yeah.
So I had enough to do 11 AccuRail autoracks, and I wanted to paint them the exact colors in the photographs to match it, because it's one of those things that when you see an autorack train go by where the cars are painted prototype colors
Right,
accurately,
right, for the
something
era.
clicks,
Right.
and it's
Yeah,
like, oh my
They
God,
look
I
correct.
remember that.
Right.
And I never, I've still got them all in the boxes, never did anything with
I
them.
I did actually. I got probably about a dozen full.
We got to
painted
sandblast them.
different- I'll bring them sometime. Maybe we can
Remember
just
those
run that
days when
whole
Walmart
trade.
was actually open at 2 in the morning?
Yeah,
They're
you're
not
right.
open anymore at 2 in the morning.
No.
And they stopped selling those little cars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we
The
thought the gates were
Pintos,
open.
the
man,
Gremlins.
you know,
They came out with a lot of different stuff. What name were they sold under?
Fresh cherries
Fresh
were the little
cherries.
cars, and then
Yeah.
the vans
Yeah.
were street whips.
It was a bonanza of HO scale vehicles for $1 something a piece.
We thought, wow, it's finally happening in 187th, but as quickly as they came, they disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I
bought
think it
'em
might
out.
have been a choking
Well,
hazard.
Malibu bought a bunch of them, and then Schuco bought theirs, and so now they're up to like $20 a piece.
Oh my God, it was so amazing. They're $20 a piece?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, this isn't a bad investment. Wait a minute.
Well, you know, I sold a bunch of those vans, not a bunch, enough for 2 auto racks to a guy named Matt Holman down in Texas. I think he's back home in Wisconsin now, but he painted them and did a couple really nice auto racks. with
11
them,
auto
so-
racks at 10 per auto rack. That means I've got 120 of those over there. That sounds about right.
Yeah, you could probably sell those on eBay. So, well, maybe not. Sell them another way. But anyway, 125th cars. These are also everything on this table until Steve Mantia brought this old train. Everything on this table is 3D printed. So these cars are 125th scale, which is roughly the same scale as these large figures here. But my other hobby is 125th scale cars. I'm into that as much as I'm into the trains, and with the advent of 3D printing, it's really revolutionized this hobby as well. And people do models that would never otherwise be offered by a big company,
Now,
mass-produced
what would you
models.
use for the windows on those?
Well, they come with preformed, vacuum-formed windows for the windshield
Oh,
and
okay.
the back side glass. Now, the other ones are just flat glass. You can cut out of clear plastic yourself.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, this is a 68 Impala, and this is a 68 Ford station wagon. And I already painted the grill. This grill's a separate piece, but Revell has a chrome spray now that's like the Molotov marker, or even better, because you can actually touch it. And this has been dried for about a month now, but it's hard to get in the United States because it's made over in Germany, and if you try and buy it online, the shipping is astronomical.
Absolutely.
So I found a place in Canada, if you ordered over $75 worth, it was free shipping, and so I got 2 cans,
And it's chrome paint.
it's chrome paint. It
So
comes
you
out of-
use this instead of, it used to, bare metal foil was
right,
what we used.
Right, now that's still used for around the detail, the edges, for a lot of fine
Well, that-
detail or strip on the side or anything.
I like that
Good.
it's available because you got me onto those Molotov pens earlier on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are
And
nice too.
those are great for those small details, but as you get to the larger areas,
Yeah.
they start to be a bit of a pain.
yeah.
But
This
that's
this chrome paint is pretty amazing. I've been building models for 60 years, and I never ever thought I'd see chrome out of a bottle or a pen or anything. You
Yeah,
know, now a
pretty
spray
cool.
can, it couldn't be easier to re-chrome all of your
That's beautiful too.
old
it sure
models
is.
and anything you might do. Even HO scale cars, you can decant the stuff a little bit and paint bumpers on your vehicles and stuff. So these 2 station wagons were actually made by a guy in the Ukraine, and I got them off the internet, and they're dead on exact 125th scale. They have the
very
interiors, and everything you need to finish it. So
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
looking forward to working on these. I get burnt out on like really going on resin casting or trying to get something done for the train show. You know, every summer I get fried on doing 187, so it's kind of nice to be able to work on something in a different scale for a while, even though this doesn't have a lot to do with trains, but it's still model building.
You just need bigger trains.
So-
It has everything to do
Right.
with trains.
Yeah.
You just need bigger ones.
For sure. So, anyway, okay, you can talk now, James.
And we're going to throw the show over to James Regier.
Can
right now.
is this glued together? Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I have seen these in HO scale because you've shown them off on the show a dozen times.
Yeah.
But to
So-
see this in O scale is, and one with a roof on it, which reminds me of the old Matchbox
Yeah. So
model
Yeah.
of the
so
steam tractors.
The roof actually is an available upgrade for the model. It comes right off. but
And they're painted. They look amazing. They look. They
These
just,
are,
now I just God, those are gorgeous. I want one of those
so these are
on
the
my shelf up here.
these
Can
are
we
the
get DCC in them?
well. You'd need to get a motor in them first. And they
Hey,
don't.
that's
Okay.
on
Yep.
your list now,
That's
too.
it. Just
There's
Make-
a
add it
list
to the
of-
list.
Yeah.
But he's made this out of nothing. He made this out of a couple jars of chemicals. I mean,
And
Yeah.
well, a lot of design work. A lot of
Yeah.
design work. So when I scaled it up to O scale, some of these models, they have steps and the platform service the oilers. The prototype I was working off of did not have that,
So you added them
but
on.
looking at the catalog, some of them did, so
Yeah,
I added
very
that
cool.
on. And then someone asked for a roof, and so I designed a roof that would fit onto them, and I researched how they actually fit onto the tractor. This one actually clamps around the steam dome,
Very cool.
and the two
Richard,
rear
are you
legs.
able to shoot this? This is amazing.
So, and then when I scaled up to O scale, I noticed I had a problem. So I started off with these wheels in the HO scale model. Well, this is an upgrade already because it has the gear on the back of it. Okay. When I scaled up to S scale, and these guys are in S scale,
Okay.
it started to look a little thicker, a little less real. HO, you can kind of get away with it. So then when you got to O scale,
Oh, yeah, those are
they were
big.
suddenly
Yeah.
looking pretty
Let,
good.
let Richard shoot
The
this. so he
giant
can
matchbox wheel.
Looking a bit more clumsy and toy-like,
right.
almost.
Like a Lego wheel.
So,
So,
you had to redefine.
I had to reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
Basically.
Our-
So I put in much thinner spokes. It has the same number of spokes,
has the gear on the back.
same orientation as on the model.
Put it right next to this one so he can
Yeah.
show what you did for fidelity. Is it going to stand
Yeah.
up?
Here's,
And-
here's the other one.
And so then I thought, well, would S scale put up with it? And it did. So here's the thinner spokes on the wheels.
And this did not become apparent to you on the HO scale model.
Well, it did, but I didn't know that there was anything I could do about it because you have limitations when you're printing with
Right,
resin about
right,
thickness and that sort of
right.
thing.
Okay.
So then I thought, well,
I
can
know.
I get away with it in HO scale? And there it is.
Voila.
So
yeah, very cool.
these have much thinner spokes now.
Makes a huge
so-
difference.
Huge difference.
They'll be available as an upgrade if you already have the model. And at some point they'll be starting to incorporate those into the newer HO scale models. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. And in addition, here's the original one that I came up with much earlier.
for you.
I know. I want. It's all for the viewers to be able to
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
original HO scale one
And now here's the
Refined
latest version
with
and,
the finer wheels and everything.
with finer wheels.
All right, Richard. She's
Yeah.
all yours, baby.
Now
Finer ones on this side.
the wheels I just came up with this last week, so it hasn't made it into most of the kits yet. It'll be available as an upgrade until I've worked through all those models. But yeah, so these are the that's the steam tractor, and I've improved the control area. The drive shaft now goes right through the control area as it did on the prototype. that was a question that I hadn't had answered before this last August because I hadn't made it out to get those pictures. One other thing to talk about is the threshing machine, which has also received some updates. So this is the original here, and because of the photos that I saw, the intake was sort of offset to the side because all the photos were offset. Someone pointed out, no, it was centered, and I looked at photos. Sure enough, so I looked at that. I centered the intake. I noticed there were a couple pulleys that I'd missed, and a couple details on the chaff spout, the lateral and vertical controls on it. That I thought, well, I'll try to incorporate those too. But again, it was a question if in HO scale I could get away with that sort of fine detail. And it turned out it worked. So yeah, this version is now available immediately. I have a bunch of them printed, ready to go. So yeah, check out James Regier's models on Facebook, and there's a parts list there, and so yeah, that's so a lot of fun upgrades, and
those are actually really, really cool.
They're very nice.
Yeah.
That is true. Man,
Yeah, the
it's
steam
just-
tractors just blow me away. And
James, you blow me away.
I want one in DCC whenever you can have that available for me.
Next
Let
week
me
or two, I'm
let me
sure.
know.
Yeah.
So,
I like that galvanized
So
swimming pool.
yeah,
That round
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I like the round one, like one we had when we were kids.
right,
So-
right. But you see these all over in
Sure.
pastures, and stuff like that, and like they're big because the wind doesn't always blow, so they want to get that tank as full as they
Yeah,
can, so
right.
the cows have water even if it's a still calm day.
Plus, I like the idea of the round swimming pool here in the yard because the kids
Right.
can swim in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it won't be a problem with regards to the blow-up pools that we've had this summer, getting holes in them and
Yeah.
deflating at
That's
night when I'm
yeah.
sleeping, and every day I got to pump it back up again.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's one thing to keep the water from not turning green, but it's another thing when the pool deflates, and with the metal pools, it won't.
I'm sad
Right.
that the pools are all closed now. It's going to
I
be fall.
know.
Yeah,
I know.
That's,
Well, at least the weather has cooled down.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
You
that's a
know,
lot cooler, yes.
in the Mantia house, August 1st,
That's it.
it turns into
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah, whether it's fall or not, it's
whether
fall.
it's fall or not, it was 100 degrees. I was getting,
Yeah.
getting the fall containers down from the garage.
Are the pumpkins even ripe by then?
We have 6 pumpkins on our porch, real pumpkins.
All right.
Wow.
And Sam's had them, and
Yeah.
we found a little produce stand on the side of the road that had pumpkins. So we had to stop the car. We had to go back and get them, and so yes, we have pumpkins in the front yard.
First they're pumpkins, then they're jack-o'-lanterns, and then they're pie.
Then they're in the backyard for the animals.
Then
and
there's
that.
the
Yeah.
back- I don't know. After it's been a jack-o'-lantern, I'm not sure.
So
That's
I cut mine the night or the day of Halloween, and then the next day I make pumpkin pie.
Oh, okay.
So-
No,
Ours usually sits
They-
outside for a
they
week
just
until
sit-
it gets
they
rotten.
sit out
Well,
for a couple
yeah.
hours in the night.
I find, well, a friend of mine told me this trick when they're carving the jack-o'-lantern that they actually take Vaseline and line the inside of the pumpkin.
Yeah.
I
with
don't
Vaseline.
we don't even know what you do in your spare time.
Well,
okay?
no, but the
A
way
little
that-
too far now, yes.
But it
That's right.
provides a moisture barrier so that it doesn't dry out and rot as quickly.
Yeah, that's the story
Very
anyway.
works.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's what we were told. So okay.
So I see some fall-esque things
Yes,
on the table.
so
Wait a minute. I gotta finish his segment on 3D printing.
well, you
Okay.
should
You
have
do?
said something. We
Okay.
gave all this opportunity
Well,
to talk about
I was
G&L
trying to,
robotics.
but then I was poking you with
How
that
is
pencil.
your Summerlin
If
over there?
we need a bigger set, because then I can have my pencil and eat it too.
Yeah, man, you're getting scared.
I talked to Greg Summerlin this week. Greg Summerlin at glroboticsusa.com that sold you the printer that you're printing all this wonderful stuff with and has
right.
customer service, has got a new line of printers.
Ooh, really?
Yes, Ming Da, Mingda, Ming Da.
Okay.
Check him out on his website. There are 4 brand new printers. They have conference calls with him every week to make sure he's up to date on what's going on with the printers. And he actually had suggestions for the company on what they could do to improve a couple things on the printers. And they listened and they're making their changes.
Wow. So
How amazing is that?
He
Yeah.
had just as good customer support on these new ones
Yes.
as he does on his current one.
Yes.
That's
W-
awesome.
Some of them are commercial duty machines. They get up into the price range of a small car. but again, they're commercial duty. They've got the inside representation of electronics and the industrial type of parts where these things can run 24/7 for a year and a half and not have any issues, if you know what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, check it out at gnlroboticsusa.com. I want to bring Greg Summerland on the show so he can talk more about this stuff. But in fact, this is your gateway to the new technology of 3D printing is GNL
look
Robotics.
At our table.
I mean,
Yes.
look at the RPM meet.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Right.
isn't a bunch of models that are, except for the locomotives running our Intermountains, but we don't have a lot of mass-produced plastic models on the table tonight. It's
Like
a lot
none.
of the.
Yeah.
This would have never happened when we started this show in 2017. In fact, it didn't
Absolutely.
happen, but it's happening now, right before our eyes.
Because
You know,
these
they're-
products
they're-
are so good, and that's why.
Yeah.
And they're coming down in price too. The Photon X, you know, that a few years ago was about $500 new. Now it's like $250.
I remember when a VCR was $1,000.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
Yes, microwave, all the same things.
Pocket
Once
calculator
it becomes
like
get
800 or
everybody
900 bucks.
in their hand, yeah. We'll start using
But
it
it's
more.
really neat, all this. I mean, these are things that you never would have saw. You're right. 20 years ago, you know? I mean,
10 years ago,
Yeah.
5 years ago.
very, very true. Very true.
Speaking of other things that are changing in our industry right now, and this is kind of cool, Randy Hook is working with Denny Yelsma at Yelsma Graphics on a brand new website that might be out in about 10 days right now, and Denny's really excited about it right now. Now if you go to yelsma.com, all you're going to find is the images of all the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the railroad logos in alphabetical order per page. That part's set up. But this whole website's changed. He said it's going to be so much simpler. You pick the jacket you want. You actually build the jacket online the way you want it with the graphics and this and that. It sounds like this is going to be really amazing. I can't wait to actually look at it myself. He sent us some logos to talk about, like he loves to do at least once a month for us on this show. And we've got some new ones to talk about as I'm going to scroll through them as we talk about Denny and how awesome he was for taking care of us at the Anna Marie National, handing out over 100 hats
Yeah, that
in
was
Gaylord,
great.
Texas last week. So I'm going to start out with the first one on this piece of paper, and that's the New York Central 20th Century Limited logo. And I'm going to go through these rather quickly because there's a lot to cover tonight. I've got the Spirit of Our Law Enforcement, and this is a locomotive that CSX had painted it up.
This is a
Looks
very
like
cool
an ES 44
Yeah.
locomotive in blue and black. I got the Tennessee Western Railway logo going on right here. I've also got the front of a New York Central Mohawk.
Yeah.
Check this out, the 3000 class locomotive that would look really good on the back of a jacket. I need that pencil so I can cross these off. Next one I've got is the Western Maryland. That's a Shay. I promise I won't poke you. This Shay is absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of manufacturers coming out with Shays right now.
Oh, yeah.
The Route of the Southern Belle,
Oh, that's very cool.
right? Check that out.
Kansas City to L.A.
I know. And there was this one, the White Valley Railroad.
Whitewater Valley
Whitewater
Railroad.
Valley
Yeah.
Railroad, right?
50th
anniversary on a cap. That's really nice.
Very neat.
The Santa Fe Indian, you called him?
No, that's Chico,
Chico.
the
We've-
Navajo boy.
There's two logos here that I'm showing right now that Denny had made,
all
the
way
drum
with the
head,
Santa Fe.
right, with Chico
right.
on it. How cool is that? I
They
already
always
covered
feature
this
prominently
one.
in their commercials.
I've got the,
Chicago Northwestern.
yes, it looks like a GP7
that's
or
a
GP9
hybrid.
locomotive.
Yeah, that's very
Oh,
cool.
Right?
The Rock Island one on the bottom there is
How about
very
the Rock
impressive,
Island
too.
E units?
Yeah,
Is
those
that
are very
beautiful?
nice.
Oh, I
No,
really,
that's not an E unit. That's I
that a-
forget what it was called, but it was a 4-axle precursor to the E unit.
It's on the
These ones
cover
still
of
made
Model
by
Railroader back in 1981.
Beautiful.
Look at that Building America.
Building
one,
America
man.
with the
It's
American
absolutely
flag.
slick on the front.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Did I cover all of them on that page?
Except for this. What is
CB&Q?
Yeah.
Yeah, CB&Q front
Are
of a
you sure?
GP, looks like a GP9.
Okay. And the
Now here's one you guys love, and I got to show this picture of you guys because you guys were riding the Georgetown Loop Railroad, and I failed to show a picture of Mike Budde and Joshua on it. I'm showing it right
here
now.
we
Yeah.
are.
But he's got some narrow gauge logos here: the Durango and
Yeah.
Silverton narrow gauge railroad and museum logo,
Cool. And, that's
and the
a-
Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railroad
yeah,
logo.
I like that.
Two Beautiful logos. I mean, a lot of beautiful stitches. I got the Florida East Coast. We had those beautiful blue Athearn units, and he has made this one blue with the white roof to match. It looks absolutely fantastic. I love this B&O locomotive. This is the F40.
Oh yeah, that is very
That
cool.
that's their modern
Business
executive
suite,
locomotives for pulling the
SX1,
train.
Yeah.
I got the Midwest Model Railroad.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
That's got to be
We've been
the.
to
Yeah, we took a road trip up
we
there
took
one day.
And you know what? If you go there, you can buy all Lionel Strings merchandise from cups to hats.
I'm going to
and
get to
whole
that in a
section.
second because there's really cool. I'm going to save that one for last.
Precursor.
I got the Key Railroad Industries, Key Rail Industries LLC
Very
logo.
neat.
I bet that's for their corporate jackets. Duluth, South Shore, and Atlantic Railroad in red and white.
Very neat.
Looks like a drumhead. Pennsylvania Railroad. That would also be a drumhead.
that's nice.
I got New Jersey Transit. He sent me a photograph of this, but this again will be all stitched.
Very neat.
And the last one I've got right before the last one is going to be the Phoebe Snow, the back of the passenger train, the Phoebe
Phoebe.
Snow Railroad.
Phoebe Snow.
Phoebe Snow?
Yes.
Right. Okay, ready, here comes. Drum
I
roll
thought
for
it
this
was
one.
Phobe when I was a kid.
All
That's
right.
what I always thought it was. Drum roll. Lionel String, we love you, and you guys were great on that show a couple of weeks ago. Thank you for being so kind to all of us, and Holly, that was fun. And no, I did not drive off with gas. I didn't drive off without paying for my gas.
So here's the Listen to Us, Listening to Others Modeler's Life podcast emblem. And I want to give a shout out to him and Bernard Helen and Lauren James.
Yes.
They all had a podcast that came out on Monday, and they said some very, very nice things about the dude and all
They
of
did?
us. Yeah, they talked
It's
all
all
about
lies.
the St. Louis RPM meet and what a great time they had and how they're going to come back again and again and again. and
Nice.
again.
When I got to say,
have to
one of
check
the
that out.
one of the events down in Texas was a hot dog palooza that David hosted. You know, so that was a lot of fun. Got to meet a bunch of Modelers Life folks. That was a fun event, and so this is a shirt or a jacket or a hat that you can eat hot dogs by.
Right.
And if you go to the Midwest Models Railroad, you can buy that hot dog shirt.
Yeah.
Denny's already sold 10 black shirts with the logo on it for a Modeler's Life,
cool.
Lionel Strings podcast. But Denny and Lionel have arrived at a agreement where Denny has got the rights to be able to make these for you guys
Nice.
that love
Cool.
Lionel's
nice.
show. And I have a feeling Lionel's going to get a couple of them, give them away as gifts.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be really beautiful to have that on
And
the
you
back
can
of the
also
jacket.
get What's
You can
Neat
still put
This
the
Week.
stickers on them though.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get the What's Neat This Week logo on your jacket. You can get the Fountain City Railroad on a jacket. He has tons of different stuff, so go check his website out, which will hopefully be up in the next few weeks.
It's all going to be brand new in 10 days, he said. He's excited.
Until then, call him. His number is on his current website right now, and order that stuff because it's getting ready to be fall, and you don't want to be caught cold out in the...
Oh my God, the weather's been so cool here. It's been so nice.
I
My
know.
photo shoots outside have been a delight all week. I love my job doing photo shoots when it's not 107 outside and the diorama is 140 degrees.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Steve Mantia. Look at that beautiful model on
Man,
the
you just
table.
put a big chip.
No, I
got some
actually,
dust off of
Give me
it.
the pencils.
I had this train. I owned that train at one time. I
Okay.
had the 4-car set and the electric locomotive that went with it. It's called number 1 gauge.
Okay.
It's not 3-rail Lionel. It's actually number 1 gauge, which is really close to G scale for all intentional purposes. This is quite a piece.
It is.
I was part of the reason I brought it was just the fact that since we were in the fall mode with anything orange,
orange,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
just jumped out, and I thought, okay, I
Orange is the
haven't,
new
I haven't
black,
brought the
right?
show, and it's much too early to bring the Halloween cars. So I thought, we'd go ahead with the just an orange, but the American Flyer. It was very impressive.
Is it considered tin plate, and is it pre-war or
It's pre-war.
post-war?
It's
Okay.
pre-war.
It's got to be pre-war, yeah.
Yes, it's just
Very cool.
no.
Do you have the engine?
Is the locomotive in green?
The locomotive's orange,
Okay,
and
no,
the
then that's
3
another
cars
one.
that came with it are orange, and he
Well,
comes with a
so-
bunch of track and a transformer.
Now there were a few different versions, especially of these tin plates, and they had different names. This one's Bunker Hill. But
Oh my
yeah,
God,
they're-
this is American Flyer.
Yeah.
American.
Mine was Lionel. The one I had was Lionel.
Oh, okay.
Same color,
Oh,
same
yeah.
train.
So
Lionel.
they
Oh,
were-
this
the
is
American
different.
Flyer did have a green engine to it, and it
Did
wasn't like the Lionel engine for theirs.
Mine actually came out of a building that we had bought. We were getting down into the basement,
Mm-hmm.
rooting through the rest of the boxes to throw in a dumpster, and this thing was still in the box.
Wow.
Well, that's a lot of the phone calls that I get of people going through homes and things like that, and the salvage or scrap and different things, and they're finding the stuff in the basement, and then they've seen my sign and they come by and do it that way. So yeah, you never know what you're going to find in an
Yeah,
attic or in
absolutely.
a basement and that.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah, it sure is.
All right, guys, going around the table. Have we covered everything?
I think so.
I get-
So we are almost to show 250,
250.
and then right after that is show 300. Is practically the next
Yeah,
show.
right around
Wow,
the corner.
man,
Yeah.
yeah, just
So
Yeah.
250. Are we going to do something special?
I don't know.
We had balloons for 200.
Yeah, I don't want to get the balloons
Oh,
again.
can we have a
No.
cake? Let's have a cake.
I would like to have Holly on and just have. We need to get some special guests in town.
Okay.
We don't have much time to get this worked out, do we? That's the first week of
We
October.
should get Steve Mantia.
Steve Mantia.
Steve
Mantia,
You think he
wow.
would come?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe James.
I want to get his signature on a football. He's famous.
Yeah.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. Best hobby in the world with the best people in it. We do have a train running, but I have a feeling that James Regier is going to want to run his because he brought his bag tonight. So we're going
I
to take
don't
the
have any
NCE
trains
Power
tonight.
Cab. I'm going to give him the hammerhead so he can be in control
Oh,
of
okay.
it.
you're in charge now.
You are
right.
in
You have the
charge.
power now.
Thank goodness somebody is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. Wow, man.
The NCE
God help
system
us all.
simply works.
It sure does.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I know,
so-
right?
All right, let's go run some trains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he just said, let's
See
go
ya,
run some
everybody.
trains.
We're gonna run some trains.
Hey, and we've made it all the way without a derailment.
I know, Richard.
All right, go us.
Thank you for running camera tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, Richard.
All right,
It's good to see you. Let's do the thumbnail shot. Mike,
Okay.
you want to hold up your
Can I
cards?
hold this?
Okay, then I will hold.
All right.
The passenger car?
I'll hold this.
All right.
and-
I'm going to hold James Regier.
Wow, you hold him tight now.
I'm going to hold the whole podcast.
I got the
crew.
whole crew
In my hands, I got the whole wide crew. Ready, set,
In
and
my-
smile. Got it. And that's the thumbnail. Red camera one, roll for 45 seconds, and I roll credits.
Rolling.
I think this thing for talking to people about their train shows would be really good.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes,
it'll
it
get
would.
that. It'll get that out there. You know, not a lot of people know or even know where to look for.
It's hard to even figure out how to advertise a train show in your local area.
I know. Awesome.
I
How
was
cool.
amazed at the number of Amish folks that showed up for the train show in Kansas, in Hutchinson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
That's awesome.
the question running through my mind is, how are you going to run these? But
I
Hey, Richard, did you kill camera 2 already? Okay. That's fine, let it roll. 41 minutes, guys.
See, turned out another good show.
I know, thank you. No hardware issues tonight.
Yay.
No one got wounded by a pencil, so
Yeah.
pretty safe.
You guys give me such trouble about my pencil.
okay, so